Okay, great. Welcome, everybody. I'm very happy and glad that I'm able to speak here in this nice city. I used to spend, I think, 5 years while studying here. I see very common faces, people I know from long ago, and I'm very happy. It's like Heimspiel. I was asked to do to give a speech about the theme of urban living, and I was thinking what I can actually contribute to this. And yes, I'm dealing every day with cars and thinking in the future of electric mobility, but this is actually not what I wanted to talk about, because that's what I'm talking about every day. So I was thinking, introducing you a project I did last spring, which I called Recreation. So I was thinking about the natural space in urban environments, and this whole thing was a focus on focus groups with focus groups. And we are talking about the river. We are talking about the river in an urban environment. So to say a river, whenever you do a city trip, it's always nice when you find cities where there's a river. So normally people really go towards the river and try to discover water in the city. It makes a major difference if you're visiting a city without or with water. And I just came, like today, was the first time that I was crossing over this new rebuilt area, which is beautiful because you can enter the river and you can actually go in touch with the water. So I think interesting is when you start discovering cities and exploring the waterfront, and you're visiting. Can everybody see that? Okay, cool. And if you start exploring the waterfront, you will either be enlightened or you start to be disappointed because you can't really go and discover the water. So this is happening when you actually enter the Bund in Shanghai. The waterfront is absolutely constructed. It's concrete, what you find there. It's a nice view, definitely, but it's not a place where you start socializing. It's not a place where you start relaxing, where you can actually get more creativity or you gain creativity. It's a man-made place which is finished. It's a totally urban environment, and there is probably no space because the river is the biggest river in China for exporting and importing. So another example where I think they started already being very creative with the waterfront is in New York. The Hudson River Park is something which is one more step towards creativity, and it's implementing more space and freedom for people to enjoy the waterfront. But still, it's very constructed, and you don't have a lot of space or developing your own creativity. You don't have a lot of space to socialize, to hang out. It's, as you see on the pictograms, I think it's gorgeous because they overlap so much that you can't even see it. It's all activities, but they're all pre-shaped, so you're not really free in designing your own space. Even so, it's enriching the city a lot. So now, coming to the project I was thinking of, because I'm coming from Munich, and so we have a great opportunity right now in Munich because we have a beautiful river called Isar. And I guess a lot of you know the river, especially people from Germany. If you haven't been to Munich to visit this river, do it. Because it's a very natural river, and we have basically beaches on this river. So to say, the beauty of this project is that we have a renaturated river which goes through the city. But what the city didn't actually assume is that they cause a lot of problems with the beauty of this river. The city didn't finish the renaturating project yet, but still already they invested over 30 million euros to renaturate the water. The interest why they actually did that was, the first aspect was the flooding of the river, because we had major floodings the last years. So all the people who are living very close in the Au in the area where it's very close to the river, they got all flooded. So they actually realized that a constructed river captured in his boundaries is not really fruitful for natural changes. And with climate change, we figured that there's much more water coming. Even so, it's controlled from a big lake, the Sylvensteinspeicher, and they can control it in a way, it's this enormous mass of water coming down. But still, the river became much more beautiful. The problem is that a lot of people see that different, what the beauty is of that river, and enjoying the nature than others. So this is actually the situation in summer. And it's not a picture, like one-of-a-kind picture, it's the picture which happens every weekend in Munich on the river. And this is just another picture. It's not the same day, it's maybe another week. So the problem which we have now is that this beautiful river is a party zone. And there are a lot of young people, and not only young people, it's nice because everybody is enjoying the water, if you can reach it. I mean, that's, the problem is that we have a big cleaning, the city organized cleaning people, investing a lot of money, and it's more than 3 tons a weekend for cleaning up this waterfront. So we have no idea how it comes that people do this mass. There are a lot of actions we actually do, but what I say, the city did a very good job in renaturating the waterfront, but they didn't have an idea that they cause a big problem. So somehow people start losing the responsibility. First, of course, when they start drinking alcohol, I think that's one thing, which happens on this river. But second, also, what I figured, when people being in an urban environment, somehow they think there's like a cleaning angel behind them. Because as soon as they leave the urban environment and go to nature, they actually understand that whatever they put on the ground, if they trash anything, the next day it will be still there if it's not rotting. So, but in the city, somehow people forget about that. And now the problem is that this river is an urban environment, but it's actually captured nature. So I think it's a gap they have never thought about. So on this river, there are, it's beautiful, the city wants the people to join this, but there are different groups of interest who are actually enjoying the water. And the water quality of the Isar is still very good. It's basically drinkable. So we have beautiful habitat for fishes, we have birds, everything is there. So also the people who have the interest in enjoying the river on a contemplative way, not only doing the partying. So the idea came to my mind because I'm a member, like I live in the city and I enjoy the city every day. Why not confronting students with this problem of this trash thing? So I say, so that's why I went to the University of Munich. It's really a Munich problem. I hope it's not a Schwäbisch Gmünd problem soon. But then maybe we can actually do the project here. Yeah. Okay, great. So I approached the university and I asked if they would be interested in doing a project about this topic, not even telling them what they should do, just open project. So what we did is I joined the university in spring last year, and with Professor Petri. He was very happy to do that project, and we got involved with the Baureferat. I don't know what this is in English. The Baureferat was involved in the project. All the activities which are like around the river, the Fliegenfischer, well, the Isarfischer were involved in that project. Then the Bund Naturschutz was involved in the project, and we had our Bürgermeister also involved. So he was actually standing behind the project, which was beautiful. So what we did, we sent the students, first of all, to the river, and they were shocked. Somehow, a lot of them, they had no idea what the situation is about. And so that was basically analyzing the situation, doing their brainstormings, the normal way you start doing project, but it was really a field project. They start doing questionnaires at the river. They met up with some organizations who already start doing actions at the river. They have like posters which actually tells you you should not do that, or this is not good. So they start becoming much more aware of the situation. I want to show you some of the examples what they actually came up with, which I think is beautiful. So interesting was that a lot of the students, well, first of all, they did the whole research, the whole group together. There were about 18 students. And they start splitting up because they figured that they have different interests. So the first group, they found that there is not enough orientation on the river. So what they were looking for some kind of guidance. Hey, what is okay, what is not okay, what am I allowed to do, what not? And they also saw that all kind of signs, it's a total mess. It's a total mixed up of different signs. There are all like graffiti on the signs. So there's no kind of continuously going nice graphic work where you can actually understand where you are and what you're allowed to do. So what they actually came up with was the idea of this kind of like Maibaum, what they actually said. They developed icons and symbols, just introducing all groups and all different interests which are actually on this river. So they say the first, unfortunately you don't see it very well, it's a beaver. What is a beaver in English? It's a water rat, I think. Beaver. A beaver, exactly. Water rat, big water rat. We have beavers in the city, yeah. In the Deutsche Museum, at the museum, there are beavers. We have fishermen. We have barbecuing. We have kids. We have biker. We have walker. We have jogger. We have plenty of activities on this river. And welcoming you when you actually leave the bridge and telling you, hey, these groups are all here, so please respect that. That was the first thing they actually, how they introduced it. The next thing was, there is barbecuing, yes, but please not everywhere. So they just said, most important for them was it's a positive message. It's like, hey, you're welcome. Why don't you barbecue here? Not here. They didn't say the not here, they just say here. So for them it was really important that all information was done very positive. And if you want to have more information, they actually wanted to do supplying information with a barcode where you can actually look it up in the internet, get your information, what do you need for a barbecue, and how you have to proceed that. So all the new signals they designed, they were in the shape of a drop, nicely associated with the water. And of course, they should be very simple and they should work at day and of course at nights. Because the problem is that the whole activities, they start when the sundowner comes, but then it's night. And then all cats are gray. So it's in the city, but there is no actual extra lightning there. So it's really pitch dark. If you don't take your torch, you don't see anything. Which is not only the problem if you don't know your way. So these are just some icons out of the collection of items they developed. I think interesting was their idea of also pointing out where are litter bins, where are trash cans, so that they're lighting in the dark, so that you actually see as well at night where you can actually put your trash. And the same thing should go a little bit further. Here, the river is here, and this is the flooding area. And then up here, it goes a little bit up, and here are the bikers and the joggers, and all of that should be integrated in their idea. So this project was done by 2 students, and this is just an overall poster, which is, of course, too small. You can't see it. So now I want to show you the next project. Which actually was going into a very exhausting day counting trash bins on the Isar. Because there are a lot of trash bins, but they figured they are not enough. People are too lazy to walk distance to throw away their trash. So what they actually did, they start re-questioning this whole situation of trash bins, the situation is this. They have to be anchored in the ground because of the floodings. This is like one picture of a flooding from, I think, 2 years ago. No, last year. Last year it was looking like this. Before, the soccer field was up here. So all these trash bins, they had to be very strong anchored in the floor. But here, what you see, whoever cleans up this trash bin has to get into the trash bin and take it out. So for them, for the students, they immediately said this has to be more convenient. You can't really ask the people to dig into that. So their suggestion was a new system, which they call Pebble, taking the graphics of the stones, making cutouts so the water can go through, making a whole story out of these three shapes. For the hot ash is normally thrown in the water, which is definitely not good because it goes into the system of the fish. So for hot ash and two different sizes with a lid, so the water cannot go inside, integrating the signs of the other group, so it starts getting interwoven, the whole idea, and making it easy cleanable with bags, which it wasn't done before. This project, this group actually said that if you want to guide people to certain spots, why don't you make fixed barbecues? So they introduced like cubes and a barbecue area, and they designed a new barbecue which is fixed, where you can put your trash in. They can be easily removed and can be cleaned up very easy, as well as they start trying to focus on more nicer seating areas, which are also not there. And the last project was actually a very smart idea, which I think I loved very much, even so it's very simple. The biggest problem we have is the broken glass, because there is definitely nobody walking bare feet anymore, because even the dogs and the kids, they just cut up a lot. So the problem here is you don't pick it up. So what they actually start trying out, I think they smashed about 40 bottles, looking how they actually break. What is the breaking habit of a bottle? And one thing they figured is whenever you actually look at the part where the sticker is, it stays. So why don't taking this as an advantage that you stick the bottle together, so maybe you can actually break the bottle into two. So they made this test, and they covered up the whole bottle with a plastic, and eureka, the whole bottle stayed together. So you can just get it out and you can throw it away. Unfortunately, this is not really technical applicable, because you have a ticket, you have to add it, you have to clean it later on, you have to wash the bottle. So this idea had to be a little bit further developed. So what they did, they started under like a lot of research, doing a new label. So with a minimum amount of, showing the minimum amount of clear glass, so that the label actually really sticks the whole bottle together. And well, this test was done on regular paper, but the idea, I think, is pretty smart, because really the bottle breaks in 2 or maximum 3 pieces, and then you can really easily take it, pick it up, and you can solve very easy a big problem. They started doing that on the regular Augustiner bottle, because that's the most famous bottle in Munich. But they actually realized that they have to adapt it to another Beck's bottle, because Beck's is also very famous, as well as Tegernseer beer. So the research was beautiful, because they had to empty all the bottles. They loved it. But they started really coming up with these solutions for different bottle sizes. And as well as they start getting in contact with the breweries in Munich, having a pretty successful conversation already, and got it patented. Yeah, they got it patented first. And then they had to, yeah. So this whole project was first not presented to the Baureferat because it was not patented yet. But since the Baureferat is not really the focus group for this bottle, but we have Paulana already on the site talking about the responsibility of the ISA, and they also sponsor the marketing of taking care of the ISA. So it's, the sponsoring was one part, which actually was fairly easy. They really jumped on it because that's a focus group of them. So, right now, it happens that they build up the prototypes. So the city of Munich agreed that they loved all projects because they never had creative, well-designed products, especially done for a part of the river. And they loved the idea of having a whole concept for the whole area of the river, not only a small project which was done on a focus. So that's why they agreed. They are building up all the prototypes. You might see, if you come to Munich in summer, some weird trash bins or signs or something where you wonder if it works. That is the prototype testing now. And then we will see if the whole project will come into place and will happen. So I think it's a beautiful project, and let's see what the future will bring. Thank you very much.